Today, Sunday, July 11th, I have a Grand Slam and a late pick 5 for you at Belmont Park that will coincide covering races 5 through 8 for the Grand Slam and races 5 through 9 covering the late pick 5. So let's get started next on Thoroughbred Ticket.
Welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket. We're playing the exotics like trifectas, superfectas to pick 3, 4, 5, and 6 will become that much easier. Rushing to handicap multiple races? Well, your host will save you a bundle of time. And now here he is, the self-proclaimed expert handicapper, Mr. Kenneth Moultrie.
Hello and welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket, and I'm your host, Kenneth Moultrie, on this Sunday, July 11th, 2021. Closing day at Belmont Park. As you know, we will be traveling upstate to the spa opening this coming Friday. So this is going to be the last pick 5, obviously, late pick 5 anyway, that I will cover for this meet at Belmont Park. So Grand Slam and pick 5 together, races 5 through 8 for the Grand Slam and races 5 through 9 for the late pick 5. For those of you who do not know how the Grand Slam work, it's basically a NYRA only play. It's a $1 minimum. It's usually run or ending on the race before the final race, usually trying to end in the stake race or the feature race of the day. In the first 3 legs, all your horse has to do is hit the board, first, second, or third. And in the final leg, your horse has to win. You can use multiple runners in each leg, any leg you decide, any leg you choose. And the payoffs sometimes are much better than expected. Sometimes they're minuscule. But, to me, it's a fun play. Like I say, NYRA is the only track you can do it at. So, I like to play it. It's only $1 minimum. I usually put about $16 to $24 in it on a daily basis or when I play. So today, it's no difference. I'm going to go. Usually the max I'll play for $1 is $24. You can double your bet. It's really cool sometimes. You can sometimes get a couple of horses on the board, and then you can end up, hitting it twice, because it's a multiple ticket bet. So let's start with the Grand Slam. Race 5, 7 furlongs on the Widener, 3-year-olds and up. High allowance purse of $92,000. 10 are going to run. There are no scratches at this time. When I'm doing this, as I'm doing this right now, they have already run the first race at Belmont. We're looking at fast and good. Looks like there's not going to be any rain on the main, for the main track. The turf course obviously takes a little longer to dry. Maybe by the end of the day, the turf will be firm. So I'm just handicapping for a firm turf course and obviously an already fast main track. So like I said, in the first leg, remember now, the same horses I'm using in the Grand Slam, I am going to be using in the pick 5. The only difference is that obviously the pick 5 is going to carry into the 9th race, and it's going to be a $60 ticket for the pick 5 and a $24 ticket for the Grand Slam. So like I said, when I'm telling you and I'm offering you and giving you these Grand Slam play, it's also for the pick 5 as well. I am using the exact same horses. So let's start with the first race, or the 5th race, actually, the first leg of the Grand Slam and the pick 5. Let's start with the 3 Yes and Yes. This gelding's trained by Phil Gleaves and will be written by Dylan Davis. Won a similar race here last year on June 27th, going 7 furlongs with Dylan Davis. This is Dylan Davis riding this horse for the first time since last October. So Dylan gets back on Yes and Yes. Yeah, like I said, this gelding went wire to wire in this event, carrying 124 pounds today. He's 7 for 9 in the money on the turf at Belmont. I like this. I like him today, getting back to a distance and a class level that it seems to favor him very well. So the 3 Yes and Yes is definitely one of my plays. Also the 7 Voodoo Zip, this 4-year-old colt by City Zip, trained by Clement, written by Joel Rosario. Won at Gulfstream a couple of races back at this distance, broke his maiden, and then came over to Belmont out of a very fast flat mile race in 132 flat. Was well bet that day, had Joe Bravo. Clement goes to his main man today. I think the trip looks right for this colt, coming off of basically an even run in that fast mile race. And so I look for Voodoo Zip to be right there at the end. Also, the number 9, Tiberius Mercurius, trained by Tom Albatrani and Luis Saez, will ride. Exiting 2 minor stakes, the stake races, one at Belmont and one at Aqueduct in their meet. Bet at very long odds, sent away at very long odds in those 2 races. But I think this level fits this horse by the factor. And I think the slight drop in class is going to help Luis Saez sticks. And this type of runner that Albatrani does very well with. 8-1 on the morning line. Not sure you're going to get that. I think this horse is going to be somewhere around 6 or 5-1. Nevertheless, when you're using them in the Grand Slam and the Pick 5, those odds are going to swell. So the 3 horses I'm using in the Grand Slam and the Pick 5, the 3 Yes and Yes, the 7 Voodoo Zip, and the 9 Tiberius Mercurius. In race 6, we're going to go 6.5 on the main track. Optional claiming $100,000, purse $96,000 for 3-year-olds and up. And looks like one scratch here, the 2 Wicked Trick. That's a significant scratch. Wicked Trick favorite. It was a Linda Rice gelding, but he is not in the race any longer. So using 2 here, let's start with the 4 Montauk Traffic. This colt by Cross Traffic. This is another Linda Rice, a trained runner in this race. Just missed by a neck at the same distance for the same similar tag. Eric Cancel rode this colt last time and rides back. Got away a little slow, was 3-4 horses wide on the turn, came running, kind of bet evenly that particular day. The race before that, he aired in the mud at Aqueduct at 6 furlongs, got an 86 buyer, won by 5. Returning back today, like I say, to this similar race, I'm going to put this horse right in there, right on top. He's 3 for 8 lifetime, 4 for 8 in the money, and like I said, has a second last time on this track in this very similar race. Did not like the work last time. Wasn't too crazy about that. A 5 furlongs on the training track in 1:03.2. It's kind of slow. Nevertheless, I'm going to throw that out. I'm going to overlook that and stick with the 4 Montauk Traffic. I'm going to trust Linda Rice has placed this colt in the right spot for this race. I'm also using the 5 Basin. Now, Basin is adding blinkers today and getting Jose Ortiz rides back. Jose had this colt down at Gulfstream in the Sir Shackleton, $100,000 stake, and won as the favorite at a similar distance. It was 7 furlongs. Like I said, getting blinkers today. Had a workup at Saratoga, kind of van back down the other day, so I'm not sure. Maybe Todd Pletcher, the trainer, looked at this race and saw how it filled and said, look, I may have a better chance here. There's gonna have 6 weeks to get some races up at Saratoga, so I do like this horse Basin, like I said, adding the blinkers and getting back Jose Ortiz. So the 4 Montauk Traffic and the 5 Basin are the 2 runners I'm using in today's 6 at Belmont Park. I'm only using 2 runners in race 7 as well. It's 6 furlongs. Allowance $92,000, purse $92,000 for fillies and mares 3 and up. 7 are going to run. There is 1 scratch so far. The 8, She's a Little Edgy, is out. So like I said, that's going to leave 7. Let's start with the 3 Fierce Lady. Now, this New York bred was beaten favorite last time in a a minor stake. The Dancing Renee had Louis Saez that day and is coming back. Now, Louis is exiting the 4-horse Bella Sophia, who is the morning line favorite at even money. And now Bella Sophia is going to pick up Jose Ortiz. Louis Saez rode Bella Sophia in her only 2 starts, one by 11 the first time, both at Belmont, and then finished second, just missed a length in the Jersey Girl. Now, normally, do I play musical jockeys? Yes, I do. Normally, I do. I look at that. I think there's something to it. A lot of naysayers will say a lot of jockeys have contracts with certain horses and certain owners, and it's just some kind of, situation to where the reason they're riding this horse compared to this horse is because of this circumstance. And I'm not for that. I look at this in this particular race, and it looks like Bella Sophia, trained by Rudy Rod, who goes to Jose today, and they're only 6%. Jose does not ride a lot for Rudy Rod, and the 6% in only 18 starts is telling me that Louis Saez, to me, is choosing Fierce Lady over the 4 Bella Sophia. So I am going to roll with that. I do also like the running style of Fierce Lady. And so I'm going to use Fierce Lady. I am not going to use Bella Sophia. The other horse I'm using in this race, or the other filly in this race, is going to be the 7 Primacy. The Primacy is trained by Chad Brown. Been off a couple of months. Comes back with a good Belmont work of 4 furlongs and 48-3. The Union Rag filly was well bet last time in a slop at Churchill. Kind of ran even. It's 1-for-1 at Belmont last June, aired at 6.5 by 4 with Javier, broke her mate. And so back to where the scene of the crime for Primacy is. A decent cozy post. Looks like she's going to let the 5 Midtown Rolls and the 6 Glass Ceiling both to the inside of her. Look like Javier should let those 2 break and get a cozy position behind the runners on the inside. So the 2 horses I'm using, the 3 Fierce Lady and the 7 Primacy, and that's in race 7. In race 8, we're going to go 1.5 miles on the Widener. The River Memories. It's $150,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. And we do have 2 scratches on the form. The 1 Pala Athene is scratched, and the 3 Luck Money. So like I said, that's going to leave 5. And the first thing that always comes to mind when you have a very short field, especially on the grass, is it is going to be a tactical rider's race. The first thing I try to look for is which horse is going to show the most speed, because the horse that gets to the front, pace makes race in a lot of cases. The horse that gets to the front in this kind of like tactical race is going to have the advantage. Now, so I'm only going to use 2 here. This is going to close out the Grand Slam. So this is the leg you have to win. And actually this and this is also the 4th leg of the pick 5. Let's start with Civil Union, who is the defending champion. The 6-year-old mare won this race in a similar fashion how I see the race folding today. There's no speed on paper. However, obviously, it's your choice or your decision. It's up to you to figure out if that's your style, who is going to be on front. And since Civil Union won this race last year, trainer Shug McGahee, I know has some type of plan, and Jose Ortiz as well, of how we're going to do this today now that this field has been, dissipated to 5 runners. Jose rode her last time in this particular race, so was on a 4-race winning streak last time. Then Joe Rosario had her for a few races, and Jose was on some other horses, and now Jose comes back. Now, she comes out of the Grade 2 New York, with the other filly I'm using in this race, which will be the 5 Virginia Joy. Now, they were similarly bet. Actually, Virginia Joy with 6-1. Chad Brown trades Virginia Joy. Manny